just go straight into this so that we can, try to maximize the time that we have today. If you're watching this program has been put together for you and exclusively to be able to equip you for you to be able to position yourself, with regards to, being employable, being able to contribute to what is going on in the economy. So I'd like you to pay attention, not just to me, but to every single person that you're going to listen to today. Now, I put together a deck of slides, and you can see that there. I'll just go through that very quickly. So my name is Jimmy, and I grew up in the city of Ibadan. I saw that the program held in Ibadan in 2018. Today, I'm a transformational coach. I help people around the area of their career, the business, and life. We have clients in over 20 countries. I do international conference speaking. I have several platforms. I headed recruitment for 2 Nigerian banks, worked with Accenture. But I'm very passionate about the Nigerian youth. And I consider myself a nation builder. And that's the reason why, when I was asked to do this, I did not hesitate to say big yes to the opportunity. Now, today is not about me, it's about you. And we have certain realities that we are facing in the world that we are living in today. And that's the thing that is there. A lot of people, I remember when I was much younger, they would say to me, that there are no jobs out there are no opportunities out there. And it seems to me that the volume of that is increasing. We have challenges, okay? One of the most recent ones is the COVID challenge, and in the season we're calling the post-COVID season. But it's still our current reality. Of course, we still have high unemployment rates. Quarter 2, 2020, and from the MBS says that unemployment stands at about 27.1%. But I don't want you to lose hope. I'm going somewhere this morning. Of course, we have social, economic challenges that have emanated because of that. And so it means that people are in a very challenging period. Lastly, I believe also pushed by COVID is this adoption of automation and technology. What has led to is that many businesses are realizing that they don't need as many people on board to work to produce results as they thought that they needed before. And so what that means that there's been a shrinking, as it were, in the economy. But like I said, that is not the end of the story. Now, in 1987 in the United States, there was a concept that was introduced in the War College, and it's called VUCA. All right, VUCA is an acronym, and basically it speaks to the fact that there is volatility, uncertainty, complexity, and ambiguity. Now, it sounds like a lot, but I just want to let you know that we all live in a VUCA world. In other words, there's a lot of volatility. 1 minute, things are quiet. The next thing, things change. There's a lot of uncertainty. There's a lot of complexity. In other words, it's no longer a straight line. Somebody says, all you need to do is to climb the career ladder. The career ladder no longer a straight one. Business more complex today than it was before. There's a lot of ambiguity. Now, the fact about it is this, that, and they put up another slide that lets you know that there are 2 main anchors that will help you. Now, in designing VUCA, what they found out was that there is something that would help you to be able to do well in spite of the fact that we live in a VUCA world. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is called leadership. For the purpose of today, I want to put it as self-leadership. If you can lead yourself, you can do extremely well. We saw the people who have attended the programs, and in the space of 1-2 years, they've made a lot of progress. Now, not everybody that attended, has the kind of results that we desire for them to have. But I'll say to you without any doubt, I don't need to have known them, but the people that we brought up, and many others who we couldn't bring up because of time, many of them have exercised a lot of self-leadership. There are 2 anchors that I want to speak about in that regard. The first one, in terms of anchors for VUCA, is knowledge, and the second dimension is action. So you see that on the left-hand side, you see how decision making. The other part is how much you know. Now, let me say this to you. If you need a job, there are 2 things you require. You need knowledge. Now, let me put it this way. Some books cannot help you in today's context because the situation around employability has changed to a very large extent. And so what that means is that even though you might have read books, are you reading? Are you developing yourself? Are you increasing in the knowledge that you have? If not, you will struggle in a VUCA world. We are talking about post-COVID. We're talking about the adoption of technology and many other things. What that means in essence is that Some things you knew in January might not be as relevant today as they were then. And so the youth that will do very well today is one that is given to knowledge acquisition on a consistent basis. Now, please, I'm not talking about just cramming information, but getting usable, applicable information that can enable you know what to do. Now, once you know what to do, you must now back that up with actions. I've met a lot of people that can take a seminar on the 7 steps on how to get a job, but they don't have a job themselves. Until you begin to apply what you know, you are not able to exercise leadership. And that is very key in the times that we're living in. Now, let's move very quickly. There is this, a little quote I saw a while back, and it's Japanese, and it says that in every crisis lies the seed of opportunity. What that means in essence is that in spite of everything I've spoken about this morning, that there's still so much opportunity. I traveled abroad, I was still abroad earlier this year, and people are still planning to come to Nigeria, planning to come to Africa. Why is this so? The reason is because where there is crisis, there's a lot of opportunity. Nigeria, I know that we want to, we wish that, many economic indices were a lot better, we had a better employment, but I want to say to you that there's huge opportunities in Nigeria, and in the course of today, and with many of the initiatives that we launched today, you can position yourself for great success. All right, so let's move further very quickly. There are 7 opportunity areas I would like to talk about very quickly. The first one is what we call the green collar area, or that dimension. Now, the concept of green collar speaks about the sustainability of the world, and that has to do, with climate change and things like that. But in our own context today, let's look at it from the context of agriculture. There is a food crisis in the world. Now, before your mind tells you, I cannot be a farmer and all that, you need to realize that there is no technology that can produce food. There is no application that can be written for you to produce yam or produce plantain. In other words, food will forever be a sustainable economy. Now, when we speak about food, there is production, but it's not just production. In fact, in Nigeria, you find out that there's a lot of waste in production. Why? Because the other parts of the value chain have not been as activated as possible. I know young people today that are involved in the collection of food items and the distribution, in the processing, in the exportation. There's so many opportunities there. Like I said, what is available to you lies in your ability to self-lead yourself and ask yourself, are there opportunities around me for me to be able to participate in this green collar economy? The next one, we're going to look at very quickly. I can't go into all of them, but see, the good thing is that there's so much information online and actually get a lot of this information. Now, the next one is what we call the blue collar economy. And, in my own growing years, the blue collar area is what we basically look at as the informal sector, where you have technical skills. But today, some of the wealthiest people in the world build their wealth around these blue collar things. And so what that means is that you have your electricians, you have your plumbers, you have different people. But today, people are willing to pay premium if you have those abilities. Let me say this to you. If you are one of those people that when you are growing up, you open your father's TV, until today you still fiddle around with it, you just might be able to go to a technical college, get a skill, and contribute and be able to live sustainably. These things are real, and there are loads of people that are making it doing that. Okay, you can check a lot more online, green collar, blue collar, but let's move further. The next area is the digital economy. Everything is online. I think so. All right. We're having this conference. Maybe it was before we'll have met in a particular location. I am in my house, everybody or the other speakers are in a location. And you see, for all this interaction, there is an economy going on in that space. There is exchange of money on a day-to-day basis. From the person who is selling data to the person who is providing platforms, every single person. So today, where we have things around digital marketing, I want to urge you that that is one area you can plug into. One of the things, the Minister of Youth and Sport is going to come up later and we'll be talking to you about maybe the deal, one of the frameworks. The deal there speaks about the digital skills, digital abilities. It's so important that the Nigerian youth equips himself. Now, the interesting thing is that there are so many platforms. We go out, for example, about the NBC Digital Hub. You need to key into that, find out what is there. There are programs there, and you can actually get quite some incentive in that regard. All right, let's move further. The fourth area is what we call the gig economy. The gig economy speaks about, when you have a gig, like a party. Today, we have platforms like Fiverr, like Upwork, and so many of them in the world today, where you can sit today as a Nigerian, and it's what we call the freelance economy. And you have a skill, you can write, you can copyright for people in America. I have a relative who she's good with English language, and she's signed up one of those platforms. She helps to edit people's documents. People, for example, that are in non-English speaking countries, they go on that platform, find people like her, and they pay her in dollars for that kind of thing. You only need an ability that is relevant on those platforms to go online, check about the gig economy. You can learn so much in that regard. The next one is renewable energy and alternative energy. There are so many options today, waste and produce energy. I know people that are in that space. And ladies and gentlemen, there's so much waste, and that means that there's so much energy. Remember I said to you that wherever there is crisis, there are so many opportunities that are there. And so renewable energy or alternative energy, yes, we have an energy supply crisis in our country at the moment. There's a lot of effort from a government perspective. But do you know that you can pick a locality and provide energy solutions to them? All right? There's so many, from solar to different options, and people will pay a premium if what you can give is valuable. The next one I'll speak about is the distribution and supply chain. And what do I mean by that? Today, a lot of people need things to move very quickly. I sell books. I want those books to be sold to a client in Kano. If you can help me to deliver that, I will pay you money for that. So some people need to begin to think about, yes, we have a lot of delivery men, but there are other means by which you can creatively help to make people move goods and services faster. If you know what to do, you can add value and be a part of that. The last one I'll speak about, and these are just 7 opportunities, not all opportunities. If there's more time, we'll have expanded on that, but we can't do that today. So I want to urge you to go and research these areas. These are the areas where the new jobs are. And there are so many other areas, but at least you can start with this one and know what you need to do next. The last one I'm speaking about is the education economy. Today, with education, where my children, I have 2 children, we're even thinking, should they school from home because we don't know about this COVID thing? What that means is that from being a lesson teacher, if you are very good with physics, you can get 10 children and train them for JAMB or whatever, and that way you are able to. So there's so much opportunity. There are people, I know a lady in Nigeria who lives in Ibadan, and she teaches people in the United States, their children, teach them Yoruba, and they pay her in dollars. So when we say education, it doesn't have to be the 4 walls. There has been education since COVID started, and for many of us, it was not within the 4 walls of a formal institution. All right? So the next thing we want to talk about, having spoken about all these opportunities, is what are the capabilities you need for you to be able to position? And that's how I begin to wrap up. The first thing is you require understanding. Now, you might be excited about the things I've shared just now, but excitement is never enough. You have to sit down to understand it. Remember, the book I said that it's about 2 things: is knowledge and action. You need to know. If you have been sending your CV out, for example, and no company is responding to you, most likely there's something you don't know. Anytime you are recording failure successfully, all right, that's contradictory, but in any area, there is most likely something you need to know. So you need understanding. Pick those areas and many other areas the speakers will reference today and begin to research them. Today, Google is your friend. Everybody has access somehow. For you to be joining this, it means you have access. So sit down today and pick an area, begin to understand and begin to look for an opportunity to gain entrance. There are accountants needed in agriculture. There are people in different sectors or have different abilities that are needed in all these sectors I mentioned earlier. Now, the next capability you require is adaptability. Let me say this to you. I studied agricultural economics in university, but that's not what I'm doing today. But my ability to adapt has enabled me to move into consulting, coaching. Life in itself requires that you have the ability to adapt without necessarily changing who you are. Nigeria requires people that can look for opportunity and start with opportunity. And I want to urge you, don't get stuck in what is not working. Sometimes you need to adapt to get things going. The third one is your ability to take initiative. You see, one of the things I found out is this, that within organizations, because we help people in coaching them to grow in their career, we find out that the people that advance the most are those that take initiative. In other words, they take steps forward. They want to solve solutions, solve problems. Now, let me say this to you. Companies are not looking for job seekers. They are looking for problem solvers. So you need to take the initiative. A lady I heard about attended an interview, and she wasn't going to do too well, as it were, based on the question they asked her. But she was living in the east of Nigeria, and she asked them, that popular question, do you have any questions for us? And she says to them, why don't you have operations in the east? I have researched it. I found out that your major competitor is 1, 2, 3. By the time they were through, they offered her a role in that place that did not exist before because there was an opportunity there. That lady took initiative. The next one is ownership. You see, what you own, you will take care of. And I want to say this to you. Every opportunity you currently have right now, own it. What that means is that you might not be the CEO, but you're the CEO of the responsibility you have been given. Do it very well. I want to say to you that a lot of referrals come when you have done something excellently. And I tell you that excellence is most achieved by those that have taken ownership of what they currently have responsibility over. You must take ownership. The next point is that you must produce value. There must be proof of value. A lot of people say to me, Jimmy, I can. Jimmy, I can. Jimmy, I can. If I'm interviewing two people, one of them says to me, I can, and one says, I have done. Who do you think I'm likely to go to engage? I have done, because if you have done, you can do it again. And so what that means is that in your only two way, whether it's in the alternative energy, what can you do? Run a pilot of your business. People invest, for example, in things that are already operational and not business ideas. Provide proof of the value you can deliver, and I'm telling you that you can begin to position yourself for growth personally and your career. The last one is technology. Today, technology is not for IT people. Technology is the way that we live. The information, I mean, there's so many things that are going on online, and you need to adapt your mind to be able to engage where technology comes on. All right? I'll try to stay with the time. My final thought very quickly, that all you need is one step forward. I've said a few things in the few minutes I have, and the other speakers, from Mrs. Awoshika to the minister to every other person, the MDs that would speak, all right? I need you to realize that all you need is one step forward. Decide not to be a listener. What one thing can you begin to do from today going forward with regard to this? Number two, stay optimistic. I know Nigeria can be challenging to live in, but irrespective of that, there are people that are thriving in the nation. You can be one of those people. Pessimism has never brought any advancement in the world. Be optimistic, but be focused. Number three, stay connected. Most opportunities come through relationships. So number one, be a good person. Number two, make sure that you're able to be referable. Stay connected with people. You never know who is going to refer you to somebody because of the ability you have. And lastly, make sure that you add value to people. All right? Make sure you add value to people. My name is Jimi Tewe. I hope I've shared a few things with you that will be able to enable you to taking your first step. Today I hear is going to be the launch of the Nigerian Business League, all right, for you. And also, so don't log out. Use your data well. Be a part of what is going on today. And I want to say thank you once again to NBC for this opportunity.